Hello everybody, Cooper here, and welcome back to another episode of Youth to Gold here on Cricket Captain 2024. I hope you're all doing very well today. I'm thinking that today's episode at this stage will be the end of Season 1. We've still got quite a few fixtures to get through, because if we have a look at how things should be playing out, we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 county championship fixtures that we have to get through, and then we've got potentially 3 potential games in the Vitality Blast. So it might actually be a 2-parter, this one. But we're going to start today in the county championship. We've not had a county championship game in forever. And the team is actually going to be looking a little bit different. We're going to be having John Higgins and Kevin Bannister. I was going to say Kyle, but no, he's a Kevin, making their first class debuts for us. They are our youth prospects from this season. And we've also got, obviously, Prithvi Shaw at the top of the order, Vasconcelos, who's having an alright run, Chris Follett, who has been awesome for us since we signed him in the off-season, only 18 years of age, averaging 64 across 9 first-class matches. Obviously, you know, it's a relatively small sample size, but we'll see how it plays out. And then we've got Proctor, Keogh, David Willey's going to be playing his first-class game for us this year. And then Scrimshaw, this guy's named Siddharth Kaul, he's going to be playing his first-class game for us. And then we've got Alex Russell, of course. Of all the guys that have played first-class cricket for us this year, Emilio Gay, Karun Nair's going to miss out in place of Kaul. And as well as, if I can think of his name, Sanderson is also going to miss out in place of Kaul and Bannister. So we've got a few different names that haven't played first-class cricket for us this season, but I think we have got a good chance of getting a result here. As soon as I say that, it's going to be raining for most of this game, so would not be surprised if this one's going to end up in a draw. We really need to win the majority of our games. We've got 5 games left to get into the top 2 to get promoted. Obviously, we want to get promoted into Division 1. We'll wait and see how that plays out. We are going to call heads on the toss. We have won the toss. I honestly think this is probably a bat first wicket and try and get as many runs as we can on the board. I really don't think we're going to get much cricket. I mean, there's a little bit in days 2 and 3 and maybe a bit on day 4, but day 1 will probably be much of a washout, I dare say. Rain has stopped play. Yeah, we've already lost the first session, so terrific. We've also lost half of the second session as well. So I will be back at the end of our first innings. Hopefully, what is the predict to have a score? 200, just under 250. So hopefully we can get north of that. You know, anything around the 300, 350 range, I'll be happy with. Just, yeah, as long as we don't lose, I'll be pretty happy. I'm pretty happy with how we've gone so far in our first innings. We've lost 4.5 hours already, and I think we're almost at the end of the second session on day 2. David Willey top scored with 94 off 160 balls. John Higgins also got a half century on first class debut. We were 5 for 136, and then that partnership between Higgins and, actually it might have been Keogh and Higgins, if I remember correctly, really got us in a half decent position. Then Willey and Bannister continued to bat along, and then just the last couple of batsmen got 10 runs between them. Willey unfortunately couldn't quite get his first class 100. He's already got 2 first class 100s for his career, and he's hoping to get another one. Bannister with his first ball in first class cricket hit a 6, which was hilarious. Follett unfortunately only just got the 27. Vasconcelos wasn't too bad at the top of the order, and Prithvi Shaw only got the 1. The predictor has us winning 53% of the time, which I think is pretty generous, to be honest, because with the weather that's in place, I don't think, unless we bowl Middlesex out relatively cheaply in their first innings, that we're going to be able to get a result. You know, the draw with the weather coming at 17% is looking pretty likely. Scrimshaw's going to open the bowling for us. And how's the weather looking now? It's starting to clear up, so it hasn't been as heavy, or it isn't going to be as heavy as it will probably as it's been in the first sessions, as it will be in the later sessions. But we will see how we go. Scrimshaw is going to get the new ball. He's had a pretty good season so far with the new ball. He's leading us in first class wickets, although he is going at about 5 runs and over. But you take the good with the bad. Hopefully he can take a few here today. All out for 318 for Middlesex. Bannister was pretty good, picked up 2 for 75 on first class debut. Obviously that bowling average isn't great, but the economy is the thing that I'm looking at the most in this one. Scrimshaw was amazing with the new ball, picked up 2 early wickets along with Call. Call only bowled the 6 overs, which I'm actually a little bit surprised about now that I look at it, but Scrimshaw 4 for 60 was really good. Russell 3 for 98. Really, we needed a few quick wickets towards the back end of the innings. He chipped in. Dave Willie, bowled a few changeovers. I probably could have given those to Call, to be perfectly honest. None for 46 off 10 wasn't great. But we lead by 18, and there's 37 overs left in the last session of day 3. I dare say, unless we go full Bazball, we've basically lost 2 days of play. I don't think there's going to be a result in this one unless crazy stuff happens. Middlesex has now put themselves in a chance where they are most likely to win, according to the win predictor, although a draw is basically equal odds. So unless we completely shut up shop and go for the draw, or we play really aggressively and go for the win, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. I basically just play the first 10 to 15 overs, see how it plays out, and then I'll make an executive decision later. A crucial last wicket partnership between Scrimshaw and Russell got us out of a really sticky situation. We were not looking too good. We were 8 for 163. Actually, we were 9 for 167. But then the final wicket of 27 runs, which actually doesn't seem like a lot, but it was more the time that they killed. They were at the crease for over an hour, which was really crucial. There's only an hour, basically a session and a quarter to go in this game. We lead by 212. I think we've basically done all that we can do to secure a result here. And by a result, I mean not a loss. Follett got 38 at the top of the order. We weren't looking too bad. We were 2 for 81, but then just too many quick wickets. Prithvi Shaw led the scoring with 41. Higgins made a very slow 26, but that was really by design, just to kill off as much time as we could. But the pitch is very uneven. It's turning, so we might be a chance of getting a result here. And did I mention that Blake Moore got 99 and that Bannister, that was his first class wicket? I'm not sure if I remember stating that, but that, I suppose, is yesterday's news now. But predictor has Middlesex winning 40.5% of the time. We're still at 27%, which isn't terrible. Draw is at 32, so we'll see how it plays out. But things could get a little bit crazy here. Russell to Roland Jones. Is this the win? Yes, it is! We get the final wicket. Russell bowls Roland Jones for 36 with 3 overs to go in the match. We win by 88 runs and a fantastic bowling performance. We had them 8 for 62. Specifically, we had them 5 for 16 at tea on day 4. And then the 9th wicket partnership of 54 gave us a few issues. Bannister broke through, got the wickets. Scrimshaw was awesome, 4 for 40. But Russell got the final breakthrough as we win by 88 runs. And despite us winning the match, Toby Roland Jones actually picked up man of the match for his 8 wickets. Scrimshaw probably could have gotten it as well. I mean, he didn't take a 5-fer, but most importantly, we get the win. Oh, that was such a stressful last session because it was looking like it was going to be a draw. We bump up into 3rd place, only 3 points behind Derbyshire in 2nd. It's getting close at the top of the table with 4 games to go in the county championship. Our next matchup is Gloucestershire away, and they're currently in 7th, second to last in Division 2. Now, a win for them doesn't really mean much because they're not really in a position to make Division 1 and get promoted into Division 1, but a win for us means everything. Conditions are looking much nicer than the last game we had. There's a possibility of a little bit of rain in the morning session of day 2, but apart from that, it's looking like it's going to be pretty good. We're going to keep the same team. No reason for us to change it just yet. I'm not that desperate to change things right now. We'll call heads on the toss again. And this time we've been put into bowl. We bowl them all out for 328, not long after the start of day 2. Bannister, career best figures for him, I believe. That's Scrimshaw, not Bannister. No, I am. There we go. I clicked on the wrong person the entire time. Nope, 3 for 46 was his best in the last match previous to this one. So he ended up with 3 for 79. 3 for 65. I don't know why I keep looking at Scrimshaw up there. Really good economy, 2.5 runs and over. Cole picked up 2, Scrimshaw had 3, Russell picked up 2. Really much more economical than last match. I did a much better job of spreading around the overs with this particular lineup, and I thought we bowled pretty well considering the conditions. It was a pretty flat wicket. Scrimshaw picked up 2 quick wickets, 3 for 157 and then 4 for 158. Russell picked up the first 2 LBW, and then there was that big partnership for the 3rd wicket, and eventually we had them all out for 328. We now have overcast conditions to deal with, but as I said, the wicket is pretty flat. So what does the predictor have us score? 260, which is actually less than what they scored. Gloucestershire, 75% chance to win. I'm hopeful that won't be the case, because we want to compete for a Division 1 spot, but if we're going to be in Division 2 next season, it's not the end of the world. But obviously we want to be playing against the best opposition as we can. That way we can bring more money into the club and sign better players. But we've got a job on our hands against Gloucestershire. We've got plenty of time in the game. There shouldn't be, any delays at all after this session. So if we get through this session, I've got a feeling we can put a big total on the score. We've had another situation where the tail is actually batted better than the top order, and this is a trend that is starting to concern me. We actually finished all out for 280, but we were 6 for 141. Then there was a partnership for 60 odd for the 7th wicket between Willie and Bannister, and then Bannister, I think he was the 9th man to go, ended up with a half century, 54 of 147, his maiden first class half century. That's really hard to say. But yeah, Keogh, Proctor, Higgins, Follett, none of them fired. We started off really positively. 100 run opening stand. We got through to the start of the end of the first session that I was talking about before. And I was like, great, this is going to be awesome. We're going to score 400 plus. And then the wheels fell off completely. Vasconcelos, Prithvi Shaw both got half centuries, as well as Bannister, but just a really disappointing middle order collapse. We're now behind the game by 48 runs, and there's still a lot of time to be played. The bounce is starting to get worse from a batsman's perspective, but the wear on the ball is still pretty good. So I'm going to be leaning on Scrimshaw, Bannister, Call, Willie. Even Proctor might roll the arm over for a few overs depending on how we go. Russell's obviously always going to be there. But in terms of Keogh and even Follett, who's bowled overs this season, I don't think we'll see much of them in this innings. Gloucestershire have declared 366 runs in the lead. They finished 7 for 318. They declare 10 minutes after the start of play of day 4. I don't know why they declared even before that, but yeah, not a good bowling performance at all. David Willey was the best of the bowlers, 3 for 67. Scrimshaw was expensive. Russell was expensive. Bannister, he bowled 18 overs, didn't take any wickets. Call was in terms of economy, he was the best, but took 255 from his 23 overs. Nobody from their team made a century, but it was just a lot of consistent starts for them. And there is a lot of uneven bounce on this pitch. I'm surprised we weren't able to take more wickets. There is currently a 7% chance of us winning this one. I don't feel good about it considering how we batted in the first innings, considering we were 280 all out, and we need 370 to win on a pitch that is now much worse. But we will see how we go. Unfortunately, it was probably 100 runs too far, and it shows by the winning margin. They win by 108 runs. We are all out for 258. Follett led the way with 78 of 102. He was looking really good. Prithvi Shaw had a 67 off 69, really set the tone for the innings. But Higgins got out after getting 21 off 22. Proctor 24 off 30. Keogh tried to stick around 11 off 54. Yeah, just not a great performance with the bat, unfortunately. And we lose to a team who really should have beaten. Bo Webster of Australia gets man of the match. And on the day that I'm recording this, he is about to make his test debut for Australia, which is very fascinating. And I'll be excited to see how that plays out. And even though we have won the most amount of games in the county championship so far, we're still in 4th place, which is kind of strange, but it's just the amount of bonus points that we're just not able to get right now. Sussex currently lead Yorkshire in 2nd. We're only 7 points behind 2nd, which isn't too far. There's a lot of distance between Sussex and Yorkshire, 14 points in total. But we'll just have to wait and see how this plays out. We now have Surrey in the Vitality Blast quarterfinal. If we have a look at the fixtures and results so far, we can see that Hampshire and Somerset have won their games. They move on to that first bracket of the semi-final. We take on Surrey and Gloucestershire take on Yorkshire. So that will be the next bracket, depending on the result of this game. I think this is the team that we're going to put together. It's not a great deal different than our first class team, but Follett's going to open, Vasconcelos is going to move down to 3, Bapara is going to come in for Proctor, and Agar is going to come in for Call. Apart from that, basically everything else is the same. Scrimshaw is going to open the bowling with Bannister. Russell will be the second spinner with Agar. Willie will be the 5th bowler. Bapara can roll the arm over if need be. Got a call heads on the toss. We have lost the toss and we will be bowling first, which does not fill me with a great deal of confidence. I might go a bit more defensive than usual in my bowling approach, although we do have the win predictor on our side in this one. Their predicted score is 162. Let's put that to the test, see what we can come up with. All out for 145 gives us a bit of hope that we can progress to the semi-final. We bowled really well. Bapara especially, none for 6 off 3 overs. Alex Russell, 1 for 7 off 2. Those guys were the key standouts. Willie took a wicket, but was going at 13.5. Agar was really good for 3 overs, and his last over went for about 20. Bannister picked up a couple of wickets, gave a couple of dot balls, which was good, and Scrimshaw, 4 for 30, was very impressive. Conditions for batting, it's a little overcast. There's a bit of bounce on the pitch. The win predictor has us at basically a 70% chance of winning this result. I feel pretty comfortable with that. Obviously, we got to do well. Who is opening the bowling? Thomas Laws. I can't say I have heard of you. His record doesn't scream fantastic, but they do have some very talented bowlers. Jamie Overton, Reece Topley. They've got Ben Folkes, who's a wicketkeeper, not really a bowler. But Jordan Clark, very capable. So it'll be interesting to see how we go. If we lose early wickets, I'll be concerned. But if Follett, Shaw, Vasconcelos and Higgins can get runs on the board, and we don't have to worry about sort of 5 through 8 too much, then I'll be pretty happy. It wasn't looking too good. We were 2 for 13 after 2 overs, but we do get the win in the end, thanks to a very nice partnership between Prithvi Shaw, who ended up with 74 of 36, and Higgins, 52 of 43, sort of just played a support role in this one. 5 fours, 3 sixes, finished not out with Keogh, who was 4 off 2. We are through to the semi-final. We win by 6 wickets. Who gets player of the game? It is Prithvi Shaw, of course. New Zealand, in other news, have beaten Afghanistan in a test match. Daryl Mitchell with a very good 227, and his bowler Durrani, the 19-year-old, 226. I thought all of his games were international games, but that is not the case. But his first test 100, 226, is very good. We now have to wait and see who is going to be progressing between Gloucestershire and Yorkshire. If I have my choice of opponents, I kind of hope it's Gloucestershire, just because they seem the most beatable. based on their county form at least. Where did they finish in the group stage? That is the wrong group. Here we go. So hang on. Gloucestershire finished top in their group. They finished 11-3, and Yorkshire finished basically the same record as us. So actually, Yorkshire might be the preferred team. And we're going to skip forward via training. There is nothing for us to see here. I dare say we actually have a county championship game before our next result, which is a little annoying because I wanted it to be a T20 game. Yorkshire win in the Super Over. Wow. Okay, so we're going to be playing Yorkshire, which, based on T20 form, is preferred, but they do have the better team overall. So it'll be interesting to see how that goes. So if we look at our fixtures and results, we can see we've got our home first class match against Derbyshire, and that is what that is going to be the next game. And then after that, there will be the semi-final of the Vitality Blast against Yorkshire. Then after that will be Northamptonshire at home, or actually we're Northamptonshire, Leicestershire at home in the county championship. Then there's a 9-day gap where I dare say the final of the Vitality Blast will be. And then, funnily enough, we have Yorkshire away from home in the county championship. So Derbyshire are third. If we win, we are basically guaranteed to move up to third, but we need to also beat Yorkshire. So we need results to go our way because I don't think we're going to catch Sussex, but we need to win our games, especially against Derbyshire and Yorkshire, to get progressed and promoted to Division 1. We've loaded up the same first class team as per usual. No real changes to be made. I don't believe Bannister's actually having a very good T20 career, start to his T20 career. He's a little expensive, but just the strike rate and bowling average is really good. But it's all about this particular game. What is the pitch? We've got a fast bowler's pitch, which I don't necessarily mind, considering we have got majority fast bowlers right now. Russell obviously is the spinner. If we have a look at the current competition, he's not struggling by any means, even though we've not been using spinners' pitches. 47 wickets at 24 is very good in the 8 games played. Scrimshaw's got 58 at 25, but the 4.7 runs per over is a little gross. Let's just hope we can win. Let's just hope we can win. Derbyshire at home. We'll call tails on the toss this time. We've finally won a toss. We're going to bat first. I want to put like 500 on the board if we can, because it's been a little while since we've had a decent, when I say decent, I mean like a proper big first class total. It's been a little while since we've had one. Derbyshire, a 58% chance of winning. We're only the 40% chance. Predicted score of 315. I'm hopeful we can get a little bit more than that. Well, we didn't get the full 500 that I was requesting, but 280 is not a bad first innings total. It was definitely looking pretty bad. We were 3 for 49 within about 20 overs, so that wasn't good. And Carver Peter, 5 for, was it 80 odd? 5 for 86, bowled 29 overs. Tickner from New Zealand, he picked up 3 for 49. He was very good. Doesn't have a great record, but was, not too bad. Bannister with another first class half century. Keogh and Proctor with half centuries. Higgins and Follett actually struggled. Prithvi Shaw got off to a really hot start, then got out. I didn't even play with him that aggressively. He was just doing that. But all out for 280, and the pitch is now really uneven, so might actually be pretty friendly for the fast bowlers. Instead of going a bit more defensively, as I have been in the limited over stuff, I'm actually going to go quite aggressive with Scrimshaw and Call and Bannister in the opening spells. We'll see what that can produce. If we can get a wicket here in the first over, that would be swell. The first ball goes for 4. We'll have a look at it. Reece just pumps it to the boundary for 4. Really good shot. Hopefully that is not a sign of things to come. Really good bowling performance here by Northamptonshire. 174 all out for Derbyshire. David Willey, 4 for 41. Really good bowling figures. His best bowling figures for Northamptonshire this season. Really happy with how he bowled. Bannister, 2 for 36 from 10 overs was good. Call was good. Scrimshaw was good. I mean, the 5 and over isn't ideal, but that's basically who he is. I didn't even bother with Alex Russell, considering how pacey the pitch was. They only batted for 46 overs, so they were, hitting boundaries, but we were taking wickets at the same time. And with that lead of 106 on the first innings, if we can get the predicted score of 232, set up about a 340, 350 run chase in the fourth innings, I think we are going to be in a really good spot to get a win here. And most importantly, we have got plenty of time left to bat. It's still only day 2 and we're in the middle of the second session, so a lot of time in the game left. Hopefully, we don't have another middle order collapse, but even if we do, if we score at minimum 200, we're going to have 300 on the board to win this game. We have played one of the all-time great third innings in first-class cricket. We scored 3 for 575. Follett and Higgins had an awesome partnership. We actually started really positively with our openers for once. We had a 173 run stand between Vasconcelos and Prithvi Shaw. Unfortunately, neither of them could convert their 50s into 100s. They both got out in the 90s, which was really unfortunate. But there was a massive stand between Follett and Higgins. I believe it was 362 runs, which is one of the biggest partnerships I have ever had on Cricket Captain. Follett ended up getting 201. Higgins, basically, as soon as Follett got out, I declared Higgins 175 off 176, basically a run ball. He is now averaging over 64. Obviously, the big not out 100 does help. Follett just under 64 as well. So, very good start to both of their careers. But now Derbyshire, with plenty of time left in the game, it must be said as well, need 682 runs to win. There's 4 sessions to go. We've got plenty of time. The pitch is deteriorating, and I think we are now a good shot of winning this game. We go to the predictor. Derbyshire's predicted score is 284. We have an 85% chance of winning this game. Let's go out and do it. A very healthy win in the end. 417 run winners. We had them 5 for 168. And then eventually became 7 for 190, 8 for 195, and then the last couple of partnerships just seemed to trickle on a little bit longer than we would have liked, but a very, very healthy win. David Willey, 3 for 25, Bannister, 2 for 68, still keeping that bowling average at first class level under 30. Obviously, we'd probably like it a little bit lower than that, but that is just something we're going to be working on with him. Scrimshaw continuing his very good form this year, averaging 25 with the ball, 63 wickets in his 12 games. Core was good with the new ball, and Alex Russell didn't really use him a great deal compared to the others. We are still in third place and 3 points behind Sussex, but I believe our last 2 games are against Yorkshire and Sussex. Sussex only 5 points now behind Yorkshire. So really a big last couple of games for us. Glamorgan, I know, I believe they beat Sussex, so they did do us a favour there. And I can't remember who Yorkshire played. We'll have to have a look at that in a minute. But a very, very close finish for the promotion into Division 1. Looks like Yorkshire beat Leicestershire by 4 wickets. And as I said, Glamorgan beat Sussex by an innings. Really doing us a favour. Speaking of Yorkshire, we now have them in a Vitality Blast semi-final. The pitch, we'll keep it as the Seamers pitch for now. And I think in terms of the T2011, we may as well keep it as is. I don't really see a need to change it at this stage. I mean, if we're going to be making any drastic changes, we would have already done them, not before a semi-final. And I don't think anybody else that could be brought in is going to make any great deal of difference. Although we could swap out Agar, who's not in good form, for Call or Kale. I still have no idea how to say this guy's name, just because of the difference in form. But I do prefer Agar's batting is the only thing at 8. Obviously, if the wheels completely fall off, conditions are going to be nice and sunny for both innings. Obviously, there's a bit of bounce in the pitch, so we'll wait and see how that goes. But this is it. Vitality Blast semi-final. Wookle heads on the toss against Yorkshire. We have lost the toss. They're going to put us into bowl. Looks like they've got a full squad. At least Joe Root's in the 11, which is always a delight. He doesn't actually look like he's in that good a form, so we'll wait and see how that goes. But Dawood Milan, Lyth Shah Masood's in there. I can't see Johnny Bairstow. or Joss Butler or any of those guys. So maybe it's not quite a full 11, but still a very good team. It was not looking good for quite a while. They were 1 for 58 after the power play, then 2 for 121. We then take 6 for 10 to leave them 8 for 131 to eventually bowl them all out for 151 in the final over. Bannister took 3 for 43, but was expensive. Willie again, 4 for 26, was awesome. Agar and Russell, our spinners, each took a wicket and provided lots of dot balls. Scrimshaw took, I believe he took the final wicket. Actually, no, he took the second to last wicket. Shan Masood led the way, 57 of 41. Lyth was really good at the top of the order. Joe Root got out early. Davin Malan got 32 off 29. We really restricted his run flow. And then just that middle order, we did a really good job of restricting. And in the other semi-final, we may as well have a peek. Somerset have batted first. They currently, well, they got 7 for 165, I should say. Matty Renshaw got 73, and he is in okay form right now. He's got a pretty okay T20 record. Not the best, but certainly not the worst. Liam Dawson took 3 for 29. We know how good a T20 bowler he is. But now we've got a job to chase down 152 in 20 overs, just over 7.5 and over. We'll go to the predictor. They like our odds, 78% chance of winning. Hopefully we can get through to our first final today and not have a repeat of the One Day Cup. And we chase it down with a great deal of comfort. 152 for 5 after 16.2. Ravi Bopara led the way. 42 off 19 was very good. Follett and Higgins both got 32. Prithvi Shaw did a very good job opening the batting. Really only Vasconcelos was the only dud. He hit a 4, then got stumped by Rashid. David Willey gets player of the game and looks like we'll be taking on Hampshire in the final as Liam Dawson guides them to a 1-wicket victory. He ends up 24 not out alongside his 3 for 29. Looks like Hampshire will have the home fixture in the final, unfortunately. I'm actually going to do something a little controversial. I know I said I wasn't going to play around with the team too much, but Vasconcelos is not in the best of form. He got a 96 in the last county game and he got 100 in the One Day Cup. But in terms of his T20 performances this year, if we can have a quick scout, he's averaging 13 and I'm not really too thrilled with that. So I'm not sure what I can do because we don't actually have another reasonable wicketkeeper that's in form. We could go McManus strictly as a wicketkeeper, but we could then promote Higgins at 3. We could do that, or we could just leave it as is. I think I'm just going to leave it as is. Let's not overthink it. It's an away fixture. Pitch is going to be spinning, which we've got Agar, we've got Russell, we've got Keogh, should we need him. And looks like there's going to be a bit of rain in the second inning, so I'm hopeful that we can do okay in this one. But this is a big test for us. This is our first final, I should say. We are yet to play in a final in this series, and we've won the toss, which is good. There is a bit of cloud over cover. Let's not overthink it. We'll bat first, set a total, and hopefully, what's the predictor say? 160. That is, if we can get 170, that'll probably be a bit more defendable. But yeah, spinning pitch. Do they have any great spinners? John Turner, he's a fast bowler. Eklund's wicketkeeper, Will's a fast bowler. Only really Dawson's a spinner. So, I mean, Follett, he's a fast bowler. He's not related to our Follett. He's just another regen with the same name. But I think we're probably in the hot seat here in terms of the favourite spot is basically what I'm trying to say. And I think if we can get sort of 170, 180, I think we're a good shot at winning this tournament. 20 overs in the books, 197. You know what? I will take it. Vasconcelos, I spoke a bit of smack about him before the game, but 67 of 40 was really, really good. Higgins, 54 of 32 was really good in the middle order. We lost Follett in the first over, which wasn't ideal. Prithvi Shaw got us through the power play with a really solid 41 off 19. Then we lost Keogh and Willie and Bannister very quickly. Follett actually ended up with 3 for 36. Very good performance by him. Career best figures in T20 cricket. Liam Dawson picked up 2 for 38 as well. But it's now our turn to bowl. They need basically 10 and over to win. We're going to go defensive. We're going to go and hopefully do something. I just want to win the game. That's literally all I want. I just want to win the game, get our first trophy of the save file. There's a bit of a weather concern, so I don't want Duckworth Lewis to come into it, especially if they got off to a hot start. But Scrimshaw, you are the lead man. It is on your shoulders. We couldn't bowl them all out, but it is a 28-run victory, and we are Vitality Blast champions. Hampshire finish 169 for 5. James Vince, who hit a really big first-class score the other day, 237 not out against Lancashire, and finishes up with 80 not out in this one. We just couldn't get him out, unfortunately, but we did a good job of containing everybody else that batted. Bapara, I opted to go with Bapara in this one instead of Willie. May have been a mistake on my part, but that is okay. Russell and Agar were awesome in those middle overs, just reducing the run rate, just choking the life out of Hampshire. Bannister picked up 2 for 31. Scrimshaw was good opening, but we get it done. We win. Going to take a screen grab of that scorecard. Vasconcelos gets player of the game, and we win our first Vitality Blast. We now have 2 games left in the county championship. One against Leicestershire at home, and then we have Yorkshire away. So it's not Sussex like I thought it was going to be. Leicestershire currently second to last, so that isn't really going to help us in terms of if we beat them, we stop Sussex or Yorkshire progressing. But we need to guarantee to beat Yorkshire away from home on the final day to get promoted into Division 1. If we can hop up into the top 2 in the meantime, that would be swell. Now, we just need to load up our first class team, which we have done. I think we just keep it as is for now. Scrimshaw is doing very well, as is Russell, as is Call. Bannister's doing well. There's no real gaps in the team that desperately need filling right at this second, so I think we are good to go. Conditions look good. It's a home game. I want to bat first if I can help it. Let's call the toss. Let's go heads. We've won the toss, and looks like Roundtree for them is going to be making his debut today. What kind of cricketer is he? He's a right arm fast medium. Has a very good one-day record. He's only played the 1 T20 match. So he's taken 2 for 22, but it did come off only came off 2 overs, so a little expensive. Considering how he batted in the 3rd innings of the last game, I want to continue that form into today's game, and Leicestershire currently have a 55% chance of winning. Predicted first inning score for us is 269. 300's probably ideal. Anything more than that is a bonus. Let's go. Let's get into Division 1. All out for 295 just after the start of day 2. Higgins led the way with his second first class 100 in as many games. 148. He's now averaging. Actually, that won't entirely be correct, but he is doing a fantastic job in first-class cricket so far. Had a couple of plays and misses. There was an LBW appeal that looked kind of sketchy, but he ended up okay. Nobody else made it past 50. The closest was Vasconcelos, who made 47. And then, yeah, that was about it. It was pretty dire. We were 2 for 37. Then Higgins, it was Higgins and Vasconcelos put on 89 for the 3rd wicket. Scriven for Leicestershire ended up with 6 for 75. He was really good. A good solid first innings. Nothing to obviously write home about, but I'm very happy with how we batted. We now need to keep them under our first innings total, which by the predictor looks like is going to be the case. It is starting to turn at home, which is always useful for us, having the 2 spinners. Actually, no, we don't have the 2 spinners. We've only got Russell because Agar he's only a T20 player. But we do have Keogh if we need him. Let's bowl them out, hopefully. If we can get a good couple of wickets out of Russell to get him to 50 wickets for the season, that would be great also. We had them 8 for 198, so to get them all out for 246 is a little disappointing to concede those extra runs. But I'm really happy with how we bowled. Bannister was the best of the bunch, 3 for 55 off his 20. Scrimshaw was expensive. Call wasn't too bad. Russell was good, very economical. David Willey only bowled the 8 overs, but took 2 for 28. Bannister, 26 average 15 wickets from his 4 games so far as a first-class cricketer is very good. I'm very impressed with the youth intake we've had this year. We currently lead by 49 runs. They're still... Oh, geez. Glamorgan have already beaten Yorkshire, which is very... Oh, my God. Yorkshire got absolutely smoked. That is great news. How is Sussex going? They're currently in the lead. That is okay. If Yorkshire have been already beaten inside 2 days, basically, that is awesome. Anyway, focus back on our game. That's Nottinghamshire, not Northamptonshire. We got to continue forward. There's still, it's not even the end of day 2 yet, and that game's already over. We've got to bat well. There's a lot happening with the pitch. It's getting uneven. It's beginning to turn. Basically 50-50 whether or not we win or not. Actually, a little bit more in our favour. We're at 55%. But if we can get another 250, get the lead back up to 300, that'd be awesome. And I'll feel really comfortable about where we're at in terms of bowling into the 4th innings. Obviously, we would like more than 300 on the lead, but if we can get that as a minimum, I think we're a shot. Not good really. All out for 206. Prithvi Shaw was by far our best. Follett and Bannister, of all people, top scored, or sort of second top scored with 25 apiece. Follett was looking so good before he got run out, unfortunately. We were 1 for 101. And then, all out for 206. Not an ideal scenario. Weather is coming. It's currently pretty cloudy on the afternoon session of day 3. We lead by 255. I don't know if that's going to be enough, is the only thing. Leicestershire, 61.5% chance of winning. The game is definitely back in their hands. We have to take all 10 wickets, and we're going to have to take them pretty quickly. Oh my Lord! Yes! Oh my God. How the hell have we done that? Oh, Roundtree goes for 22. We hang on by 3 runs. How the hell have we done that? Bannister and Russell have saved us. They were 1 for 93, chasing 255. We took 7. I think we took 3 for 117. That's what they were at stumps on day 4. Then we took the first 5 wickets. They got 8 for 189. And then there was this huge partnership between Ahmed and Roundtree. Got the 9 for 252. Oh my Lord. How the hell have we done that? Higgins gets player of the game for his 148. But does that move us into the top 2? Moment of truth. Yes, it does! Oh, Yorkshire are out because they got absolutely smoked. We're currently in the top 2. If we win our next game, which is against Yorkshire, we are guaranteed promotion into Division 1 of the County Championship. Prithvi Shaw is now out. He's been selected by India for the T20 squad. Okay, that is annoying. And if we have a look at the One Day Cup final, we can see that Sussex has beaten Hampshire. So, we beat Hampshire in the T20 final as well. So Hampshire 0 for 2 in finals so far in this series. They are not happy. But no Prithvi Shaw, annoyingly, in this final game. So Karun Nair seems like the obvious replacement. But we don't have another opening batsman is the only thing. I know Follett's currently being trained in that, but we could probably just leave him at 3 for now. Higgins, I won't mess with him. Emilio Gay is the only other opener that we have. But yeah, this is just not a very well-built squad, I must say. Tremaine, we could bring Tremaine in, but we don't really need another bowler. So I think we'll just leave it be for now. So Karun Nair is going to open. Vasconcelos is going to be our keeper and number 2. Follett is going to bat at 3, as he has done for the majority of the season. He's not had a good last couple of games, but did crack a double 100 not that long ago, but he's averaging 60, so I'm not going to worry about it. Higgins has come off back-to-back hundreds, and yeah, he's doing very, very well. Proctor, this is probably going to be his final game for Northamptonshire, as we should probably quickly do this. So everybody that is on a 1-year contract, not counting Bannister and Higgins, and the overseas players, because we may bring them back. This will all be their final game for Northamptonshire. No matter what happens, because all of them, I believe all of them, are over the age of 19, meaning we cannot bring them back next season. Obviously, Bannister is 21, but he is a youth player that is different. So farewell to some of our players. Yorkshire are 4 stars. We're only 3 stars. So what happens if we draw? I have no idea what happens if we draw, but I just want to win. What's the pitch going to be like? It's going to be a wonderful batting deck. This will be a bat first if we can kind of pitch. Russell's going to get a lot of bowling action. Do we have a second spinner? We don't really. We could bring Zabe in. I'm not going to play with it. I'm just going to leave it as is and hope for the best. Let's go for it. Let's call heads on the toss. We've won the toss. We're going to bat first. And Gould at the bottom of the order there for Yorkshire is going to be making his debut. He's 18. Averages 48 at one-day level. He's also taken a wicket. Good on the lad. It is a beautiful, beautiful batting wicket. Predictor has us scoring over 300, but Yorkshire have a 60% chance of winning. Karun Nair, you're 32 years of age. We're probably not going to bring you back. This is likely going to be your last game for Northamptonshire. He's averaged 45. That's not all this season. He was their player last year as well. Vasconcelos, he's on a 2-year deal. He'll be back next season, so that is nothing to worry about. We'll obviously do our farewells at the end of this game, but this is it. It's all come down to this. This entire season has come down to this game. Let's bat. It's all out for 194, but it could have been a whole lot worse. We were 6 for 43. Rampling, actually that's Dom Best, not Rampling. Rampling picked up, is he a youth player? He is a youth player. He picked up 5 for 67. Dom Best, 4 for 63, so 9 wickets between the spinners. Just absolutely tore us up. We did not get off to a good start whatsoever. David Willey was the only force of inspiration in this batting lineup. He ended up going for 81. Nobody scored above 29, which is Scrimshaw of all people, and he is not a good batsman. Oh, just an absolutely just woeful batting performance. Higgins got 7, Follett got 3. The openers, they got 31 between them. But yeah, we've still got an hour to go on day 1, and if we can snag a couple of wickets, we'll hopefully get something on the board. But yeah, not a great start. Yorkshire get early bonus points. Not great. We're not in a great position, has to be said. All out for 363. They lead by 169. Bannister was awesome with the ball. He got 4 for 50 from 24 overs. I initially didn't like what I saw from Russell, and I tossed the ball to Follett. He picked up a wicket, which is hilarious. But Call wasn't good. Scrimshaw took 3 for, but was expensive early. Hence why we went to Follett for another spinning option. I didn't really want to give the ball to Keogh. It wasn't what I would call an inspired bowling performance. We had them 7 for 234, and then Thompson made 50, and then Fisher made 50. He averages 15. Thompson averages 21. And now the pitch is really turning, and we have to face a bunch of spinners that took 9 wickets against us in the first innings, which is a thing that I'm not looking forward to. Okay, I don't know how we win this one is the only thing. There's 3 overs left on day 2, so we've still got plenty of time, and the pitch in terms of pace is okay. It's the spin that I'm concerned about. We'll just turn highlights off for the first couple of overs to end the day, and we get through to stumps on day 2, which is an achievement. We did what we had to do. We've gotten into a position where we're in the lead by 220 runs. It wasn't pretty. We were 1 for 281. That wasn't too bad. The problem was how we batted. We batted so slowly. Nair made 148 at the top of the order. He was extraordinary. Vasconcelos was really good, 66 off 139. Follett battled, absolutely battled to 64 off 203 deliveries. And that was, Follett basically got out on the final over of day 3. And then I decided once we get to day 4, we're in the lead by about 120-ish. If we can get a quick 100 runs on the board, we'll either declare or be all out, and that's essentially what's happened. The spinners, again, 8 wickets between them, really solid performance. The Pacers didn't have to bowl too much. But yeah, 130 overs for 389 is a little gross in my eyes. We now have an opportunity to win the game. There's not a big total that we're defending. 221 isn't a lot, but we need to win to basically secure promotion. That is basically the crux of it. If we can get there, we'll do it. If not, I don't know what happens if we lose. I don't know what the point situation is. We just have to wait and find out. That's it. We've secured promotion. I believe we have secured promotion. We win. Scrimshaw takes 8. 8 for 72 in his final game for Northamptonshire. His career best figures. What a season he has had. Really expensive at times, but we have done it. On a spinning deck, he has somehow taken 8 for 72. Russell was so good, bowling up the other end. We win by 32 runs. Nair picks up the player of the match. I don't know how it went. Didn't go to Scrimshaw, I should say, with his 11 wickets. Oh, this is interesting. Middlesex have beaten Sussex. Does that mean we go top? Let's have a look. We'll save the scorecard just while I'm all over the shop. Middlesex have beaten Sussex by a considerable amount. They chased down 342. Thank you, Martin Blakemore. I don't know who you are, but he's a rookie as well. 105.71 average. That is really good. We finished the top of Division 2. We are heading to Division 1. Who gets relegated? It's Somerset and Surrey. I bow my head to you, my poor friends. We don't draw a game. We win the most games in the competition. We started the episode in 4th. We work our way into 1st. But that is going to be the end of the episode, guys. Absolutely unreal. We are going to be in Division 1 next season. The next episode will be sort of a season review of this season, plus all the recruitment for next season. So season 1 is now done. We're going to do sort of the player farewell at the start of the next episode. Thank you so much for everybody that's tuned into this series so far. I appreciate your support so much. Please leave a like and subscribe to the channel if you are new. If this was your first episode, they've got playlists in the description and everything. You can go back and watch all the videos I've put up in this series so far. But until next time, guys, I hope you have a lovely day wherever you are in the world, and I'll see you guys then. Bye!